Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here and it's time for Trash Craft Tuesday. So for today I have a couple of different projects that I want to get done. We possibly won't get both of them done, so let's just see how it goes. So for today's trash I am using cardboard packaging. This happens to be the side of a tissue box. If I can speak properly. Not essential to have cardboard packaging, but I want to give mine, what we're making, a little dimension. So I am using that. And I'm also going to be using, get rid of the stuff I don't need off my desk, last year's leftover wrapping paper. So this is paper that came off of gifts from various Secret Santas, from the family Christmas Day. I just went round and gathered up whatever was left and tried to, salvage what I could from it. So this isn't all of it, it's just some that I've picked out. I've got more in a box right beside me, so plenty to work with. I'm also going to be tackling December days. Okay, so I'm really behind in my December days, just with being sick and all that jazz. I just couldn't even, like, took all my strength just to sit there and do nothing. So sitting there and doing something was beyond me for a few days. So I have this page from the 9th of December where I've done some of this spread. It was a day for my husband's work do, Christmas do, and so I've already started decorating it up. I don't know that I'm going to actually write much about the day because it was a fairly quiet day until the party. And then from the party I've included some, like where the meat was from, what I had for dessert. I've got the December days prompt of party time because it was a party and it was held. So I put where it was held and the time it was held. And it was held at a Surf Life Saving Club, and we're in New Zealand, so it's summer for Christmas. So I really liked this beach Santa. I thought he was just really appropriate for this particular spread. But I've got a couple of photos from that night that I want to put on here. So I envisage they'll go here, just 2 of them. So my plan is to make frames. Now, this is me and my husband. If I were to put a frame right over the edge, I'd be blocking off some of our faces. So I need to come up with a solution, have some sort of backing behind that. And then this is my friend and I, and she works at the same place as my husband does. And this has got lots of space around it, so I can put the frame around it. This is also a bigger photo, but the faces are smaller. So I want the one of my husband and I to be prominent because, like, we're married. I want the one of my friend in there to be there, but I don't want it to be dominant on the page, if you understand where I'm heading with that. I do apologise for my voice. It's still sounding very iffy. And I'm just trying to clear my throat. I'm sorry, that's probably very loud and annoying for you. But just trying to improve it so it's not like so gravelly through this video. So from this year's Secret Santa, I'm wondering whether that red and white stripe might be nice behind. I think that's what I'll do, so I don't need a big bit. I'm just going to take a corner and mat it up first. So let's just glue it down. So I hope you're all having a fantastic week. I hope you're avoiding any either winter or summer bugs wherever in the world you are. It's just not a great time to be sick, is it? When there's so much to do and so many things going on. And so many fun things to do, and sadly I have missed out on 4 of the things I was really looking forward to. 4. And that's big on my calendar. I don't normally have that much going on, so to miss out on 4 things really, whoops, maybe over a little bit, was really gutting. I was quite grinchy on Friday. In fact, in my December days journal, I haven't filled it out. All I've got as far as doing is putting a little Grinch on the day, because Friday I missed out on 2 of the 4 things. They were both on the same day, one in the evening, one in the morning. And I was not happy to miss both of them because I was not well. And nobody wants to have my bugs. Like, there's no way I would share them. That wouldn't be kind at all, would it? That wouldn't be spreading the cheer that we want to spread at Christmas. Right, so I'm just going to trim this down a bit. I'm just lining up the edge of my photo with, there's a raised bit on this guide. I'm just using that to kind of do an even measurement around the photo. Perhaps I should have gone a bit wider. We might not end up with any of the red and white showing. We'll see. I'm just, you know, going with the flow here. If we don't end up seeing the red and white, it's not the biggest thing in the world. It just does its function of extending the picture. Okay, so we've got our 2 photos and I want to do a frame. So first off, I want to work out, so this is 3 inches. So whatever photos you're working with or images you're working with, you'd need to work out what dimensions by 3 3/4 inches. So that's the inside diameter. So I'm going to go 3 inches, I think, this way of my frame. Did I do right to the edge? I can't remember what I measured now. So that's right to the edge of this. Okay, so let's go. So I want to make it, hang on, let me think about this a moment. So if I bring it in 1/4 inch, no, that might be too much. How about we go 1/2 centimetre? So I need to do centimetres then, don't I? And I also need to straighten this because it is not straight. So let me do that first. Just create a straight edge. So yes, I was a very grumpy monkey on Friday. I was not happy. You know, when you look forward to something so much and then you can't, you know, can't participate or can't go or whatever. Yeah. And being sick, you know, made me not so bright to begin with. And then add on top of that missing 2 events. And I'd already missed one earlier in the week, the previous night. So Thursday night I'd missed an event. So these were the 3rd ones for the week. And then on Sunday I missed the 4th. So I was just, yeah, just over being sick. It's really just not a lot of fun. Now these aren't straight either, so let's go on our straight edge. So first off, I'm doing my 3 by 3 3/4 inch measurements, just so I've got a kind of a baseline to go from, because I want to come in at that 1/2 centimetre. Right, so from here, that's my outside boundary. From here, I want to come in 1/2 centimetre on each side. And if it doesn't end up completely square, well, I'm not worried. It's going in my journal. It's going to be cute. But if you don't do your own journaling, if you don't want to include a frame in your journal, this would be super cute used as a little tuck spot or pocket in a journal you're making. You could either put a window in it or just leave it open in the middle and glue it around the sides for something to tuck down in, like a tag or something. Be super cute and doesn't need to be Christmas. Like, you could make it for any theme. If you're doing a floral journal, cover it with floral paper. But using wrapping paper, because you know, you get all this beautiful wrapping paper and then what do you do with it? It's, in my mind, a criminal to just throw it out. Because, right, so that's the inside measurement. And I think I'm just going to leave okay, that doesn't make it even because the inches don't meet with the centimeters, but it's close enough. I think I can live with it. So what I'm going to do, it's a bit wider on this side, so I'm just going to come on the inside of my pencil line. And I need 2 of these, remember, so I'm going to cut this one out and test it for size. And then use it as a template for the next one. So it's only going to be a really, really narrow border, which is probably not actually, yeah, I will make it, we'll make it bigger around the outside, I think. Maybe I'll make this one bigger and this one with the smaller frame might be an option. Right, so now I'm going to take my knife and very, very carefully take the middle out. It'll probably take several passes just to cut through safely. And I can see I'm not straight, so never mind, we'll just throw all attempts at being straight out the window. Just making sure it's all the way through on the back there. I think part of the reason is because the light over there is casting a shadow along the edge of the ruler, so it's very hard to see whether I'm actually on the pencil line or not, or whether I'm lined up straight on the pencil line, and I'm not. So there we go, it's 2 sides done. And then there is the possibility that my pencil lines weren't actually straight. So sometimes I think it's better off to go deliberately wonky. And it's like, because you know, you planned it and so it's perfect. Rather than try and get it straight and then go wonky and it's like feeling like you've failed because you tried to get it straight and you didn't manage it. So I think deliberately wonky has a lot going for it actually. So I could have played with that, but I didn't think about it. So maybe you think about it if you want to go deliberately wonky. Depends what style you like and what suits your journal. I think wonky, deliberately wonky would have actually been really good for this particular subject. Right. Right, so I'm going to keep that wee bit. That can be used for something else. Ah, my throat, driving me nuts. So there's a little bit of that red and white showing. Just enough, but I am wishing I had done a wider frame. But I think it's a great size for this photo. So I'm going to draw around this one. In fact, I'm going to turn it over so that this side doesn't slip. Oops. Maybe I should have drawn around it. No, I couldn't draw around it while I was, before I cut the middle out, because then I wouldn't be able to cut the, I would have had to rule the middle again rather than trace it. Oh, excuse me. It's probably because I haven't done a lot of talking at home. Just being by myself while hubby's at work. So not doing a lot of talking, and then I get on camera and suddenly I'm talking non-stop, pretty much. And my throat goes, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know, I've got to talk. Right, so I am going to eyeball this, I think. Wish me luck, because I want a wider frame. So just eyeballing, kind of an evenish amount around. If you were worried about getting it precise, then by all means measure. I just really, to be honest, can't be bothered. I'm just going to wing it like so. So some scraps to go, and then that one I will keep. This is actually embossed with some of the text, but I'm not worried about that. It should be fine. Right, now I'm going to cut out the inside piece. One side. So I hope you've all been enjoying some fun Christmas activities. I can't believe that I have missed 2 Secret Santas. So one for my hubby's work, which I was going to be participating in. And it's always a lot of fun. So I had to miss that. And I'd already bought a present for it. And the fun of it, to be honest, is not what you get, but the fun in the event itself, because there's a lot of stealing that goes on, because in the version that they do, you're allowed to steal somebody else's present. So there's a lot of laughs and, you know, a lot of fun. And then there's always a video roundup of the year that's been, of funny things that have happened at the workplace. And because I know all the people, it's fun for me too. It's like I get a huge kick out of it. So I missed the video. Hubby's going to try and get them to put a link up so I can still see it, but we shall see. So I missed that. And then there was Secret Santa. So I kept the present I'd bought, but which is fine. It's a diamond painting, and I love doing diamond painting. But to be honest, I wouldn't have spent the money if I wasn't buying it for a Secret Santa. I would have spent it on craft supplies or something, you know, anything else. That it's a little bit wide on that side. Let's take a little hair off ish. Then there was Secret Santa at my in-laws' church on Sunday, and we weren't well enough to go up for that. So we sent our presents up, which is fine, but we haven't received our presents back. And I'm like, are we going to get them? Did anyone bring them home for us? Like, I'm sure we will get them at some point, but it's like I really could have done with a little pick-me-up, you know, opening a little present would have been nice yesterday, because it's Monday today as I'm recording this. Right, so does it matter that we've got two different sizes? I don't think it does. Let's just go with it. Okay, so we've got our frames. You could also use die cuts, you know, to cut out rectangles if you've got the right size die. I just thought I'm just going to go the old slow method because it's achievable for anybody. And now I'm just looking for some paper. Now this is not particularly Christmassy, but it is very cute. With these turtles and crabs and frogs and fishies and seashells. It's not Christmassy though, is it? So maybe not. Maybe this one with the reindeer. It's a bit sad, this bit of paper. It's got some rip. There was a rip here. But I think we'll be able to get usable sort of somewhere like that. Working around the tape marks and the hole. So I think that's going to be fine. So you really don't need much, even if your paper is really worse for wear. You can usually find some little patch, that's okay. The other things I missed were a dinner on the Thursday night. That was the last one for the year. A church dinner. And so that's 1, 2... Oh, and a movie night with fish and chips, which was also for our church, which was on Friday night. So Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night, and Sunday morning. 4 events in very quick succession, and I missed them all. So very, very disappointing. That one hasn't been used for a while, so it needs clearing. So I'll just grab my other bottle that I used earlier today. Oh, coughing. Hopefully it doesn't drive you all up the wall and down the other side, because it's going to drive me up the wall and down the other side. I'm not coughing normally. Hardly coughed at all with this cold. It's only because I'm talking. Boy, I woke up on Friday morning with the worst sore throat ever. Like, you know, those types of sore throat where you just don't even want to swallow because it's just too painful. Fortunately, it didn't last all day. Like, once I'd got up and had some lemon, ginger and honey drink, it went away sort of by mid-morning. But yeah, that first few hours were like, oh, there's no way I could have gone anywhere. Right. Now for ease, I am going to use double-sided tape on this, just because it's, I think, going to make life just a little bit easier. So I'm going to go against the inside edge, I think, first. It's a really nice narrow double-sided tape, this one. Had a very kind friend sent me. Oh, and now my nose wants to be taken care of as well, and I haven't had to do that very often since probably Friday. Again, it's just because I'm talking. Right, so what I want to do here is do a little snip in from the corners on a diagonal. Oh, excuse me. My cup of tea's doing all sorts of gurgles. Well, I'm doing the gurgles because I had a sip of my cup of tea. Can't blame it all on the tea, can I? Right, actually I'm just going to cut this with the knife first just to get it down to a manageable sort of bit, and then I'll trim it with the scissors. Oops, no, don't want to be tearing it there. It's the thing with Christmas paper, it tends to be quite thin. Right, because I don't want a huge bit there. Just want enough to fold in over the edge. Like so. Right, let's take the backing off the tape. And push it in, one side at a time, and hopefully the corners will look okay. But bearing in mind these are junk journals, so it's not about perfection, it's about looking cool and fun, don't you think? I think so. Right, and last one here. See, double-sided tape just makes it easy. Yeah, that looks good. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And not worried about like crinkles and stuff. I just think that adds to the authenticity that this is reclaimed paper. So now I'm going to go and put a strip of tape around the outside edge. So it will add a little bit of bulk, and that's okay. I'm not worried about that in my journal. If you're worried about bulk, then you might want to use glue or do a thinner base that's not cardstock. You could just cut it straight out of your paper if you wanted. But I just want that dimension. I think that's just a bit of fun. Right, so now I want to make sure I'm not making it too wide to fold right over into the middle, because that would look really silly. So we need about that. Okay. Right, now the corners. How am I going to handle the corners? I'm going to try something. It's not the way I'd normally I'd snip the corners, but I'm going to try folding it over instead. So like folding it like so, which means I need tape pulled off on 3 sides to do just 2 corners, and hopefully this works. It should. In my head it will work. Yes, it does. Woohoo! Because I didn't want to risk having holes where you could see the cardboard in the corners. So that's why I thought, I wondered if this would, whoops, try and get it straightish. So just folding over that corner. So the narrow frame is going to be a little trickier, I feel, which is part of the reason why I wanted to do a wider frame, just to make it not so fiddly. This one's fine, but then the next one could be interesting. Here we go. And it goes up that way. I think that's cute. So our picture needs trimming down a little bit. Cute. Okay, happy with that. So I'm just going to run a little bit of glue around the inside just to tack it to the photo. And then that can dry while we work on the next one. So about there. Sweet. So that's going to go on the page maybe like that. And then this one will go, going to have to work on, that might have to go straight. I always envisaged that they would overlap, but I don't want to go over my friend's face. And I don't want to go over my husband's face, so maybe we'll need to cover the train. Yeah, we might have to cover the train. And then still have a little bit of room for writing the few notes that I want to make. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That is fine. Right. I'm actually tempted to do the same paper just to give it a little cohesion across the spread. So let's do that. It's quite a pretty blue, this too. Soft tealy blue. I don't know, is it teal? Pass. I'm going to call it teal even if it's not. Aqua. I don't know. It's blue. I know that much, it's blue. Right, hopefully this frame is wide enough for the tape. I think it should be. Oops, better put it on the back of the paper. Right, again, in from the corner on an angle. Right, this time I'm actually going to try the scissors. Oh, there goes the fire siren. Never a good sound, is it? Right, so it needs to be very narrow little bit of paper that I'm folding over. So this is going to be interesting. My recommendation is to make your frame a little bit wider than what I have done. But I won't let it beat me. I may not be fit, but I am fighting. Yes. Right, and similar on the outside. So I've had this paper stored all year in a box, waiting for this Christmas, and then I almost forgot about it, and I was looking for something else and I saw it and I was like, oh, that's right, I should be bringing that out and using it, because I'll probably want to keep this year's Christmas paper. So yeah, right, grab our tape. If it is too wide, it's not the end of the world. I can just push it over, roll it back on itself. And I didn't put it on straight, so I'll have to do a bit of that. Has everyone got their Christmas shopping done? Normally we're sort of scrambling at the last pay before Christmas, which is coming up this week, and you know, just like, oh, we've got so many we've still got to take care of, and then somehow it all comes together. Well, this year we've got everyone done bar one person, so we're actually feeling pretty chuffed. Like, we feel like we're under control. It could be an illusion, but we're going with that. So just one person left to shop for. Oops, I shouldn't have taken that bit of tape off because I'm sticking to it. So yes, that's a good feeling. It's not normally where we're at this time of year. I could have left a little bit wider bit of paper, I'm finding, but never mind. It will get the job done. Oh, because I'm not covering the whole bit of tape with the thin bit of paper that I left, so I keep sticking to it. It's hard to hold on to it. Right, and I probably won't have to actually put another strip of tape on because of that narrow bit of paper that I folded over. So there should be enough to do the outside folds as well, which is actually pretty cool. So I'm just going around doing all the corners first. Oops, try and fold it sort of. Well, that was even worse, never mind. Everywhere I put a finger, I stick to it. Right, maybe it'll be better now that I've got one side done. So it's going fairly quickly. I think the longest thing is definitely doing the measuring and cutting to get your base. But if you have a typical size of photo, then you might want to make a card template, and then you can use it with whatever, whether you want to do cardstock or scrapbook paper or wrapping paper, whatever. You can just whip out your template if it's a standard size. Like this is probably my standard size. This photo was taken with my friend's phone, so it's got a better camera on it, so the photos are bigger. That's why the photos came out two different sizes. Yes, that is the right way up. So we've just got that little pop of red and white around. Not even, but still cute. Okay, let's get it glued on. Right, actually this is a little curly, so let me uncurl it. Try to just make it a little easier to line up the frame on top, making sure it's the right way up. And yes, the leg's coming down this way, so must be the right way. Up, dip, dip. Where you going with it? Gosh, that is not straight. Nothing is straight. But that's okay. Trim off a little bit of the backing that's showing because I didn't get anything straight. There we go. Cute. So one of my hubby and I. So going to cover over the train, unfortunately. But I think the photo of me and hubby is more important. So I can always print off the train again and use it somewhere else. So maybe just on a little angle, just because it means that there's like little bits of the train showing, but I'm all good with that. There we go. That's that one on, and it's just making sure it glues down. So I'm just clearing the decks for a moment while I hold that. And one on the outside, maybe there, and then I can write down there. So not a lot to write about, even though it was a party and there were things going on. I was super tired. So the main thing I want to record about this evening is that I danced. My ankle was a bit sore, and I sat there for most of the night and just, you know, boogieing to the music while I was sitting, until I got to the point where it's like, I'll really regret if I don't get up and actually dance. So I did. I got up and danced, and it turned out to be the longest song ever heard, ever, anywhere. Like, it just went on for probably 10 minutes. So that was great. 10 minutes of dancing. I felt like I'd had a good old dance. So I want to write about dancing, and maybe about what we ate down here, maybe, or something. Yeah. And possibly that my husband was given a bike, a push bike that day from one of his workmates. So I might write that maybe there or somewhere, or do a wee tip in if I need extra space. So there we go. So my next project, you can see there's like heaps of days where I need to fill in. I've made a start on today's in preparation. Right, so this day here, how are we going on time? Oh, we haven't got a lot of time left. So this is the 23rd, which is this coming Saturday. Why am I working on this day? Because this is the day that we're going to be wrapping all the presents, and so I want to use the December days prompt wrapped up. Wrapped up or wrapping up? Wrapping up, I think. I can't remember, and I didn't actually grab it out. And so I want to document that on Saturday, that's the day we're going to be wrapping our presents. And I thought, well, what's fun but to actually use last year's wrapping paper to decorate and maybe create a border or something like that. So the papers I've grabbed out of my box of last year's papers are all ones I thought might lend themselves to this. So this one's got some fun squares on it. I'm going to cut a few of them out. To start with. Maybe that one. Oh, and the candy cane. Oh, the candy cane's got sellotape. I don't want the sellotape. Maybe the penguin. and the Christmas pudding. And quite like the word hope. I'll save that for something else. Right, so we'll start with that. And I might save those stars for something else as well. They can be cut out and glued on. So what I'm thinking is to do a little collage style border with images off the wrapping papers. So I haven't tried this, I haven't tested it, so let's just see how much we can get done, because we haven't got a lot of time left. We've got about 15 minutes, so we'll see how much we can get done. And I'm not anticipating that I'll have a lot to write about on this day. I've already got the list of gifts and all the names on a different page. So yeah, I think I won't have a huge amount of writing to do. And if I do, well, I can just add a pocket in and tuck something in, or I can add a tip in. You know, there's always ways that you can add in some writing space if you find you've over decorated for some reason. And I like the interactive aspects, so sometimes I think it's better to over decorate so you have to put those interactive features in. Right. So I want to use some of the other papers, not just this one, so we're just going to start with this. Oh, getting a sore neck. Been happening a lot lately when I've been videoing. Not quite sure why. Maybe it's part of being a bit run down, or that I haven't done a lot of videos recently, so I'm holding my arms up for longer periods. I thought a few days off wouldn't make a huge amount of difference though. Right. I'm just going to start with the tacky glue, and I'm not going to compose because I think that would take too long. Oh, I've grabbed the one that needs unclogging, so let's switch. Again with the coughing. Have another sip of my tea and hopefully that'll help ease the tickle. I want to do sort of a interesting border, not like straight, not a rectangle border. I want to do it sort of jiggy fun. So this would be really cool to do with whatever papers you like. It doesn't need to be Christmas. Again, like the frame project, doesn't need to be Christmas. I really like this Santa on a motorbike. It's pretty cool. So I'm just wanting to make sure I mix up some different papers here. It's quite a wide one. Again, I'm not worried about losing writing space, so if you are more concerned about writing space, then just be mindful of the size of images or scraps of paper that you're using. Oh, gurgles from the tea again. I like mixing up these colours too. I think that's going to look really pretty actually. And might need something a bit narrower down in that bottom corner. We'll see how that pans out. Okay, let's go for something else. What about a tree? Maybe this might be thin enough. Don't know. Guess there's one way we'll find out. Doesn't matter if it goes over that present, does it? Just lift it up slightly. Oops, I did not cut that out straight. Oh, you're getting all the fun things today, aren't you? The nose is going, the throat's going, the coughing. So I mentioned before that I had a diamond painting that I had bought for Secret Santa that I didn't end up participating in. Who else likes doing diamond painting? Have you given it a go? Do you like doing them? I find them so much fun, but I don't do them often because I find once I start, I just want to do nothing but. And of course, I'm really busy these days, and so to spend like a week doing a diamond painting is not time I can afford. So maybe over Christmas I will have some time to tackle it. It's actually a big one too. It's the biggest one I've ever had. It's a 40 by 50 centimeters approximately, I think. So yeah, so my other ones, which were smaller, took me about a week because once I start, I just go, because I love it. Now, do I want to do up here and up here, or do I want to kind of like do backwards and forwards? Could do backwards and forwards. Let's do that. And it's of a sailing ship, an old-fashioned sailing ship. And it's very, I want to say neutral, like it's a lot of pastel blues and whites and creams and things. Because I bought it with, you know, that it might appeal to a guy as well as a girl, because there's, you know, mostly guys at my husband's work. So if I had been buying it for myself, it's probably not what I would have gone for, but I do like it, which is good because I'm going to be making it up. Going to be doing it. I could have started it while I was sick, but I just didn't want to admit defeat, and that I saw it as something that reminded me of something that I missed out on. So I wasn't keen on doing it, but I'm rapidly getting over it. Like, you know, well, there's no point worrying about it. It is what it is. It's been and gone. There's always next year, you know, all those positive things that coming up in my brain that are real, you know, reality's going, yeah, there's worse things in the world, honey. There really is. And it's true, there are. But it just, you know, never mind. Right. Thinking maybe another tree for here. It's a different tree. There's lots of different styles of tree on this paper actually. So what's left to come before Christmas? My hubby has another work due on Thursday, which is put on by one of the neighbouring businesses. So I'm not anticipating that I'll be there for that. I have been in some previous years. I have been there for it, but I feel a bit funny about turning up for it when I don't work there anymore. I know the people, like, and the wife of the other business owner is one of my good friends. But, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm just turning up for food. I just don't think that's a really good look. Even when I don't eat a lot of food. But, you know, just something about it. It's like, just feels a bit icky. What about a reindeer on a motorbike? That sounds like a cute thing to incorporate. Just going to try and cut it down as much as possible, I think, towards the image. So apart from that, I don't think there's anything on now. No, sorry, there is. Wednesday night. Wednesday night is the last community dinner for the year. And so it's going to be a special one, because, you know, being Christmas. Okay, so I need to kind of do the, don't I? Yep, so I'll put this one up the top. So normally it's a 2-course meal. This month is going to be a 3-course meal. Like, wow, I won't be eating 3 courses. No way. That 3-course meal, we're going to help. So for us, it's not about getting a free feed or anything, or it's not a free feed, it's a gold coin donation. But, you know, pretty close to being free. So my husband has made 3 batches of fudge for it, so they'll go on the tables for people to nibble on throughout the evening. And we're also providing presents for the guests. So I've got, I think, 6 presents I've worked out to have available for people, and then other members of our church are donating things as well. So that should be, you know, should be really fun, I think. And I'm looking forward to that. And it's the only thing I've got on now between now and Christmas. So it's my last remaining thing to look forward to. So nothing better happen to... I'm going to cover over the bow. Am I going to cover over the bow? Not sure. How about this paper? These are a lot bigger. No, not feeling those. They're too big. What about one of these little trees? Take one of the little ones. Yeah, so that's the last thing I have on my calendar to look forward to between now and Christmas. So we better make sure that happens. Right, I think that there, but do I want something up underneath it? Maybe we go back to this one. Maybe Santa. Yeah, it's a shame. I look forward all year, well, not all year, but, you know, heading towards December, I look forward to all the fun things that are going to happen in December. I guess you guys know the drill. I guess you have a similar thing. Either you look forward to it or you dread it. He's too tall. You're a tall Santa face. What about this Christmas pudding that looks like a cupcake? It's always difficult when you've got gaps to fill, isn't it, to find things that fit nicely. Oh, that stocking would be quite good too. I think it's a bit tall again though. That's better. So we'll put the little Christmas pudding underneath. There's a brad on one of the pages under there, so it's a bit lumpy and hard to work on, but it's really pretty. I knew it would be a pain, but I don't care. it's not one I can remove either. It's just like, I put it in, it's like, yeah, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Yep, it is. But I can work around it. Here we go. That's that side done. That side, let's put Santa down in this bottom corner. I don't think we're going to get this finished, guys, but you can see well enough where I'm heading and what it will look like finished. I think it's super cute. It's fun. It's colourful. It's using up all that lovely Christmas paper. Well, not all of it, but some of it. How about we go with this word peace? It's got tape on it, but I'm going to use it. Because I think it's the only time I've got peace on that bit of paper. Like that maybe. Maybe if we just get this side finished will be good. And we'll call it a video once we've finished this side. Oops. If I can hold on to my bit of paper. And there goes my tummy gurgling again. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's quite funny. It amuses me. See, and doing this border also takes care of that lump for this particular page, because I'm not going to be writing up there because it's covered. Right, something there. Can we fit in a candy cane? Or shall we put some stars in? Maybe we put some stars in. Oops, I just cut those ones. Okay, let's go with these ones. Would have preferred a different background, but never mind. It'll be fine. Right, so we've still got writing space in here. We've got this funky border. No, it bugs me. I want to fill in this, so I'm going to do that. Oh, we're over time. I do apologise. I know it's a busy time of year to have long videos, but I saved you a couple of hours last week, so maybe you'll forgive me a few minutes over today. I don't know if you've seen that I've been posting shorts, doing opening Secret Santa presents from Rachel Bella Crafts group. So the lovely Sue Stickelman, hello Sue, if you're watching, has sent me it's 12 days of Christmas plus Christmas Day. So every day I'm posting a short of the present that I open. So if you haven't caught up with that, pop along. They're very short, you know, they're shorts. So they're only like less than a minute long. Just a bit of fun. I want something that's fairly accessible to cut out. Maybe this tree here. Right, and then we'll be done. So again, my apologies for keeping you longer. If you're still here, thank you for watching to the end. I will be back tomorrow with another video on I don't know what yet. We shall see. I'll work out something. There we go. So that side's complete. I've just got to finish this side. And yeah, So I hope you like these 2 ideas that I did. So there's this one, and then there's our frames here. So use that Christmas paper, save it up if you don't already save it, because it's a super resource for any time of year. Take care, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.